Hey there YouTube, this is Showcase Watches. Today bringing you a video. It is a new watch day video, and yeah, I thought I'll do a quick vid. I picked up a new watch today and I wanted to just share my thinking, my journey, and how I came to this conclusion. So, as many of you know, I have the Rolex Submariner 114060, the Rolex Submariner, no date sub, the icon, the classic, the highly desirable, super hyped, and impossible to get at retail watch. Well, it certainly is now, it's been discontinued. But I've never been fully satisfied with Rolex. And I know there are people out there who love Rolex. I know there are people out there that would walk off a cliff for Rolex. Rolex can do no wrong in their eyes, and Rolex are the perfect brand and everything else. Not for me, and it's just my personal preference. You know, I'm not asking everyone to be the same. I'm not asking everyone to think the same. I'm just saying it's not for me. I was looking for a dive watch. I was looking for an iconic dive watch. I was looking for an interesting dive watch. I was looking for a watch that ticked a lot of boxes. And along the journey to find this watch, I've learned a lot of things about my taste. I've learned a lot of things about the watches that I like, the things I dislike. And yeah, so one of my favourite watches, probably my one of, I'd put it within my top 5 favourite watches, is the Omega Seamaster 300, the 1957 reissue, powered by the caliber 8803. Sorry, 8806. Beg your pardon. Caliber 8806, which is a master chronometer. It's METAS. It's cost certified. It is just an awesome movement. The watch is beautiful, but it measures 38.6 millimeters. Now, I'm a big guy. You know, you can see. You know, I'm not a small guy. I've got a 7.5-inch wrist. That watch sits a little bit small on me, but I liked the way the watch felt on the wrist. It wasn't intrusive. You didn't really know you had it on. It was just really comfortable. The Tudor Black Bay 58 Blue. I own that watch. Currently in the collection. I love that watch. Again, comfortable on the wrist. Ticked a lot of boxes. I like the fact that these watches are aluminium bezels. Aluminium dial, aluminium bezel. It means that the watch is going to age and it's going to get some patina to it, as opposed to ceramic. I like the proportions of the Black Bay 58 Blue. The problem is, again, 39mm, it was just a smidgen on the small side, but I was sort of getting over that a little bit. It has no diver's extension. Now, I do use, not for diving, but I do use a diver's extension or an adjustable clasp quite a lot. And it's because I work outside quite a lot, and I'm often wearing gloves in winter, and I do put a watch on the outside of my glove because my glove does go quite far up the wrist, and you know, so I do wear a watch on the outside. When I do that, I need to change the bracelet, and so that sort of, the Black Bay 58 Blue didn't fit that. I was wearing it on a NATO strap, so it was perfect for purpose. But you know, when you're wearing it with jeans and a t-shirt or whatever, you might want to put have it on the bracelet. It wasn't perfect. I looked at the Omega Seamaster Professional. As you guys know, I adore that watch, the Omega Seamaster Professional. I've had it in blue, I've had it in black. An awesome watch. My problem with that watch is the bracelet. So the bracelet is, it has zero taper to the bracelet. On the Rolex Submariner, you've got a taper. Obviously, it starts off at 20mm and it goes down to, I think, 16mm at the clasp. So this bracelet tapers perfectly. The Omega Seamaster does not. The Omega Seamaster is one just solid slab all the way around. It's a little bit heavy, a little bit cumbersome. So although it does have the clasp adjustment, it does have the micro adjustment, it was fantastic. I love everything else about the watch. The bracelet's the only thing I can fault the watch for. It was not the perfect daily dive watch for me. So it was leading me to the conclusion that the Rolex Submariner is the perfect dive watch. The Rolex Submariner is the perfect dive watch. It's 20mm, so it sits perfectly on my wrist. It's got a fantastic movement. It's got the tapering bracelet. It's got the adjustable clasp. It's a ceramic, unfortunately, which for me was a negative. I wasn't keen on the glass dial, and I wasn't keen on the ceramic bezel. So you can see there. But it was coming as perfect as they were so far. You know, out of all the watches I've been looking at, this one was coming up as the perfect diver. And I kept looking. Rolex just wasn't hitting the spot. It just wasn't the perfect dive watch for me. And I looked at Blancpain 50,000. I looked at the Glass Shoot Original. I looked at loads of watches. I looked at loads of watches in different brands. But I was always drawn to Omega. So I looked back at Omega. I looked at the Planet Ocean. Planet Ocean's a fantastic range of watches, but they sit quite tall, a bit top heavy, a bit cumbersome on the wrist. I checked out Tudor. I looked at the Tudor Pelagos. All these watches have been on the channel. If you look back over my videos, all these watches have been on the channel, so you can see the watches to get to where I am today. I've tried all these dive watches to try and find, in my opinion, in my tastes, what is the perfect sweet spot. And I realised that a tapering bracelet, something around about 41, 42 millimeters was perfect. I love the Omega movements. I love Omega as a brand. As you guys know, I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with Rolex. I think they make fantastic watches, but I just hate the brand. Whereas I love Omega. I think Omega are fantastic. I think the Tudor Pelagos is an awesome watch. I really do. Again, a little bit on the heavier side. It was a little bit too tool watch for me. It wasn't something that I could wear as a tool watch, but then also if I was going out for a meal somewhere, I could wear it as well. It just wasn't quite fitting in the camp. It just wasn't quite there. Look back at the Planet Ocean line, a little bit top heavy, and I found myself comparing all these different watches, trying them all on. I've bought a lot of these watches, I've owned a lot of these watches, I've reviewed a lot of these watches. None of them were quite hitting the sweet spot. The one watch that came the closest, or the two watches that came the closest, was one, the Rolex Submariner, and the second one was the 1957 trilogy, the Seamaster 300 1957 trilogy. That watch came pretty damn close. If that watch had have been a smidgen bigger, I think that watch would have nailed it for me. It was simply that watch is better suited for a smaller wrist. That is the only reason. That is the only thing I had against that watch. Other than that, it was perfect. I love the faux patina. I love the tropical dial. I love the fact it was an aluminium bezel, an aluminium dial. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. It was just a smidgen too small. So where did it bring me to? Well, I've been today, and after a lot of thinking, a lot of time, a lot of umming and ahhing, I have decided to go for the Omega Seamaster Professional, the 007 edition. And the reason being, this watch has the tropical dial. This watch has the tapering bracelet. It has the adjustment on the bracelet. It has the aluminium bezel, the aluminium dial. It has the caliber 8806 master chronometer, METAS and COSC certified. It's got everything. It's a 300 meter diver's watch. It's got everything. And this is my Rolex Submariner replacement. Now, a lot of you guys who love your Rolex Submariners are going to tell me that the Rolex Submariner is a better watch and everything else, and you're going to argue the point with me that but do you know what? I am getting off the Rolex hype train. I really am. I am through. I was going to say I'm through with Rolex. I'm keeping one. I'm keeping my Batman. I'm keeping the Rolex GMT Batman. In all honesty, my daughter's taken a shine to it. She really likes this watch. So I'll keep this watch and it'll be hers one day. She can have this watch. This is going to be my dress watch. This is going to be my dressier piece. If we go somewhere nice, I'll put this watch on. But certainly for daily wear, this is going to be it. So this Rolex Submariner, it's a 2017 Rolex Submariner 114060. I'm going to sell it. It's in minty condition. £8,500 for anybody who wants it. I will post it anywhere in the UK. £8,500, it is your watch. and it's in mint condition. I can do a video of the watch and show you the condition of it, etc. I was putting it up for sale last week, but then I decided to keep it because I thought I was doing the wrong thing. Because I was coming to the conclusion that maybe the Rolex Submariner is the perfect watch. Maybe the Rolex Submariner is the perfect watch. And for a lot of people it is. For a lot of people, the Rolex Submariner ticks every single box. For me, it's just not quite there. It's boring. If I'm honest, that's the only way I can describe it. The Batman has something about it. My Omega Speedmaster has something about it. The Rolex Submariner 114060 for me was just too boring. Whereas this watch is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The tropical dial, it is just so under the radar. I can wear this watch for every single occasion. I can wear this watch if I'm seeing customers. I can wear this watch in the office. I can wear this watch in the workshop. I can wear this watch when I'm out and about. I can see people and they don't know that it's an expensive watch. It's not attracting any attention. It's, on a small scale, stealth wealth. It's just a beautiful, under-the-radar watch. It's not shouting. It's not shouting like the Submariner is. I mean, when you compare the two, the Submariner's very catches the light and what have you, whereas this one's just a bit more stealthy. Grade 2 titanium, so it's got the tool watch aspect of the Pelagos. It's got the tropical dial, the aluminium bezel and dial of the 1957 Omega Seamaster trilogy. It's got the same movement as the 1957 trilogy. It's got this beautiful, absolutely beautiful work of art bracelet, and it is a work of art. This is a work of engineering genius. All in grade 2 titanium. The clasp, everything, grade 2 titanium. The watch is phenomenal. And I was very interested in this watch when it was first released. I looked at it, I've looked at it on NATO Strap. I was having a little bit of a hard time getting over the 007 connection, because it does say on the back of the watch, it does have 007. But do you know what? Because it's on the back of the watch, it doesn't bother me. If, like other James Bond watches, they sometimes put it on the dial, that would have bothered me. But because it's on the back, I'm easy. As you guys know, I'm a huge James Bond fan. So having basically like a movie prop made by my favourite watch brand, it's a no-brainer. This watch ticks every single box that I was looking for in a watch. And you know what? It's an exciting watch. It's a fun watch. The Rolex Submariner, it's a very serious. It's a serious investment. It's a serious piece of kit. This is fun. It's fun. It's different. Not everyone's wearing one. It's not a target for theft. It's just under the radar. You can wear this with jeans and a t-shirt. You can wear it under a shirt cuff. You can wear it to work. You can wear it out in the pub. This is an everyday, every occasion watch. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I will be doing a full review of this watch. But yeah, I just wanted to make the video. Rolex Submariner is gone. Omega Seamaster 007 edition is in, and it is in to stay. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And as you guys know, I love my Omegas, my Speedmaster. As you guys know, there's a new one coming, and a lot of people are taking credit. I just want to say this, a lot of people are taking credit for announcing the Omega Speedmaster release and all this, and I've seen videos go live over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Check out my video from 4 months ago. I predicted that the Speedmaster was coming to an end. I made the prediction of what they were going to do with the Speedmaster, and apart from the bracelet, my estimate was correct. So check that out from 4 months ago. The Omega Speedmaster being discontinued and a new one replacing it. That's how much of an Omega nut I am. I'm that sad and that into Omega. I know this type of stuff. I speak to a lot of people in the industry and a lot of people connected to Omega, and I like to keep my finger on the pulse of what Omega are doing. I don't particularly care what Rolex are doing. Sure, Rolex is a fantastic. You guys think that I hate Rolex watches. That's not true. I think Rolex watches are fantastic watches. This was very nearly the perfect watch for me. For a lot of you guys, this is the perfect watch. And I can fully understand why. Fully understand why. For me, this watch has become too serious. It's become too much. There's too much investment talk around Rolex. There's too much money talk. You know, I mean, if you talking about this, I've not even mentioned money. I do care about how much it costs, but the amount of money this has cost hasn't swayed my decision. It was the watch I wanted. Whereas people, when they're talking about the Rolex, always talk about money. Buy this watch because it's going to go up in value. Buy this watch because it's a future investment. And buy this watch because it's going to be a family heirloom and all this stuff. None of that means anything to me. Yes, my GMT Batman is a watch that I'm keeping. I know that if I don't have a Rolex in the collection, I will always want one in the collection. I agree with Archie Luxury. Every man needs a Rolex. I fully agree with that. I do fully agree with that. I think a watch collection isn't really complete if you don't have a Rolex in it. And I really do believe that. I think Rolex is a brand that is phenomenal. It's a beautiful watch. I mean, for me, the Batman, the colouring on the Batman is just, I mean, the camera's not really picking it up, but it's just a beautiful watch. Downside of the Batman is the polished centre links. I'm not a huge fan of that. But I think Rolex is a phenomenal watch. I really do. For me, Omega just pips it to the post. That is just my opinion. That is just my taste. That is all. I'm not trying to sway you guys one way or the other. If you collect Rolex, and they're awesome watches. I will never be able to convince you to buy Omega. If you collect Omega, you may hate Rolex. This seems to be the way it goes. I'm not saying I hate Rolex. I'm just saying I dislike the brand. I love the watches. I think the watches are awesome. It's just for me, for daily wear, I would much rather have something a bit more stealthy. Something a bit more under the radar. Something a bit more that I know what it is, but nobody else particularly does. And this, not bringing price into it, but because this watch is so expensive, I think most people are going to buy the standard Omega Seamaster, which is going to make this one a bit more for the die-hard fan. So if I see somebody walking down the street with one of these on, that's probably a guy I want to talk to, because he's probably a hardcore Bond fan or a hardcore Omega fan. I'd be interested to speak to that guy. The guy that I see walking down the street with one of these on, you run the risk. He could be a really nice guy into his watches, or he could be an absolute complete moron who just wants to invest money, or he sees this as an investment for the future or whatever, which is fine. That's what he wants to do. That's fine. But he's not the guy that I particularly want to speak to. I want to speak to the guy who's got this on his wrist, who's possibly a bit more of a fan of the brand, a fan of the movies, a fan of maybe a bit more interesting to speak to. That's all I'm saying. But if you guys are collecting Rolex and you love your Rolexes, that's cool. You know, Rolex is a cool watch. It's a phenomenal watch. I mean, you can see in the background here, I've got the Submariner there. You know, I think they're fantastic watches, just not for me. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. This watch does get a lot of love. It also gets a lot of hate. And the reason why people hate on this watch is because they say it's a bit too expensive and they don't like the 007 connection. Me personally, I'm a Bond fan, I'm an Omega fan. It's taken me so long to come to this realization. It's taken me on such a journey to go from my days of Tag Heuer, Breitling. So I've had Tag Heuer Aqua Races, I've had Breitling Super Ocean, I've had Breitling. The Breitling Super Ocean. I've had Oris. I've had Omega Seamaster Professional. I've had Omega Planet Oceans. I've had the Tudor Black Bay 58s. I've had the Tudor Black Bay. I've had the Tudor Pelagos. I've had the numerous Rolex Submariners. And it's taken me, the Omega Seamaster 1957 trilogy. I've had the Omega Seamaster 2254. I've had the Omega Seamaster 2220. I've had multiple Oh, and I've had the previous ceramic with the caliber 2500. I've had numerous dive watches, and it's taken me this entire journey to come to the realization this is the watch I should have had. But you know, in my defense, it was only released this year, so you know, I couldn't have got it even if I'd have wanted it. But yeah, that's what I've gone with. So let me know what you guys think. This is just sharing a personal journey. I'm not trying to say to you guys, sell your Rolex Submariner and buy an Omega Seamaster. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just telling you about my personal journey. Remember guys, if you guys do want to buy a Rolex Submariner 114060, a 2017, full box papers, the full shebang, full length bracelet, it is in, you know, it is in mint condition. It really is in mint condition, is this watch. If anyone's interested in it, £8,500. Drop me an email. My email is in the description below, and I will happily respond to you. So check out the rest of my videos, check out the rest of the channel, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think, like and subscribe and all the usual crap, and I will catch you in the next video. So if I don't speak to you beforehand guys, have a great Christmas, a happy new year, and I will see you in the new year. So take it easy. Thanks for watching.